Hello everyone, welcome to quiz time. So, this is the very first video from this channel. Every day there will be one question and answer to the same. Hope you all will enjoy this, and I believe this is going to be very useful to all irrespective of your age. So, let's have today's question, and the question is, who was the first woman to travel to space? I repeat, who was the first woman to travel to space? I think at least some of the listeners will be knowing the answer. But to those who don't know, let me reveal the answer. So the first woman who traveled to space is Valentina Tereshkova. The, the cosmonaut's name is Valentina Tereshkova. She's a Russian cosmonaut. So let's discuss about the term cosmonaut in the later part of this video. Let's talk about Valentina Tereshkova first. She is the first and the youngest woman to have flown in space with a solo mission, and it was on 16th of June 1963. And she orbited the Earth 48 times and spent almost 3 days in space. And she remains the only woman to have been on a solo space mission. So she traveled alone, and it's a record. This record is never broken. Something really great, I believe. The spacecraft she traveled is called as Vostok 6. Cosmonaut Valentina Tereshkova was born in the Yaroslav region of Russia on March 6, 1937. Okay, that's a brief about the person, the first woman who traveled to space, Valentina Tereshkova. Now let's talk about cosmonaut. So we were adding the term cosmonaut Valentina Tereshkova. So what is a cosmonaut? Who is a cosmonaut? So we have heard about astronauts, but who is a cosmonaut? There is nothing complicated in this. The answer is very simple. Astronauts and cosmonauts are those who travel to space. So, in order to travel to space, there should be a specific training. You have to get a specific training from the some kind of organizations, space organizations. So, you will become an astronaut if you travel after getting trained by NASA, ESA, CSA, JAXA. Okay, so if the space traveler is trained by NASA, you will be knowing NASA. It's the United States Space Agency. ESA is European Space Agency. The SOC, I mean the complete European countries are under this, and CSA is Canadian Space Agency. JAXA is Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency. So similarly, if the space traveler is trained by a Russian space agency, he or she will be called as a cosmonaut. So the name is different. I mean, astronaut, cosmonaut, the cosmonauts, there are different names. Even the Chinese space travelers, the space travelers who are trained by the Chinese space agency, they are called as taikonauts. Taikonauts. So the name is different. The mission is same. They travel to space and do the work for the space agency. Okay, so that's it. So let's move back to our first woman space traveler, Valentina Tereshkova. So she was the second born of 3 children. Her father was a tractor driver, and her mother worked in a textile plant. Valentina started her schooling at the age of 8, and soon, in another 6 years, she had to leave the school, and she had she had to start working. So she was from an ordinary family. She struggled a lot to achieve things in life. That's what we are understanding here. So she continued her education by correspondence courses. She was a hardworking person. So she worked, she earned money for her family, and on parallel, she was studying as well. So that's something really good, a positive note, something a good message to the society. Work hard and study well. You will get successful in life, right? So so Valentina, and she was very much interested in parachute jumping at an early age. So that was the first point. That was a milestone, I believe. The parachute jumping done by her. I mean, to her space mission. That was a entry door to her space mission, I believe, because it was her expertise in parachute jumping that led her selection as a cosmonaut. So she was selected to the cosmonaut training plan because of her parachute jumping skills. She was a good parachutist, I believe. So she worked as a textile work at the time when she was getting selected for the parachute. I mean the space program. She was working as a textile factory worker as well as a amateur parachutist. So under the direction of Soviet Premier Nikita Khrushchev, the person who trained the head person who trained Valentina was Nikita Khrushchev, and four women were selected, and she's the only person who got selected to travel to space. So Valentina is the only successful person who could travel to space. The other three couldn't complete them. I mean, they were not selected for the space travel. So we have almost covered about her in a brief, in a like in a brief. So if you want to research more about her, you can go for some encyclopedia or some general knowledge books. So and yeah, in the present day, she's into politics, and she serves as the deputy chairperson of the committee on the federal structure at the local government. So that's it. Hope you got a new GK treasure, like one more GK general knowledge added to your brain, I believe. So that's all about it for today. I believe your general knowledge has increased a bit more with my session. That's what I told. So I'll be posting daily videos like this, and if you're interested, please subscribe to this channel.